private member statements, and I understand the member for Monaro is next.
Mr Speaker, council elections are coming up in a few weeks' time, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the two councils in the Monaro electorate. I've had a policy from the first time I was elected to this place of working with mayors and councils, no matter who they were and no matter what party they came from. I even managed to keep that policy intact and not criticising them publicly, instead talking to them privately and discussing any issues or differences of opinion that I might have. I even managed to keep that up when Peter Cochrane was the mayor of Cooma Council. I want to, though, talk a little bit for the people who are about to vote in our elections over the next few weeks about the sort of people that you should be looking at to get in your local councils. Because in my experience, there is a few different types of people who run for these. There is the ones who want to work in close cooperation with their federal and state members to get results for the communities, and there is the ones who think that it's in their political interest to spend their time bagging others and picking fights. And I'd suggest to the people who are about to vote in Queanbeyan Pallarang Regional Council and Snowy Monaro Council that they look very carefully at the candidates that they've got before them and choose those who are willing to work cooperatively with myself as the state MP and with Christy McBain as the federal MP. That's the way to get results for our communities. Now, I don't begrudge anybody the opportunity, if they wish to criticise the state government or me or my performance if they have been consistently raising issues with me and feel that there is criticism to be made. That's their right to do that. I will respond to people when they get out in social media and say that they've been lobbying me and not getting any result but actually haven't turned up and spoken to me at any stage. I think that's probably my right to do that as well. But I want to highlight for people who might look at this in Monaro or look at this on my social media feed that over the last few years I've developed a really good working relationship with the Mayor of Queanbeyan, Kenrick Winchester, and with his team and our Labor team led by Bryce Wilson and Esma Livermore, the first Indigenous woman to be Deputy Mayor in our Shire. I also have developed a good working relationship with Mayor of Cooma, Chris Hanna, and his predecessor, Narelle Davis. And I want to also mention the Tanya Higgins, the Labor, and Linda Summers, the Labor councillors on Snowy Monaro Council, all running for re-election this time around. In the Queanbeyan Pallarang Regional Council, I'm aware that there is a number of candidates who are out there making claims about the current council and suggesting that it's responsible for rate increases and debt. I want to point out that when my friend Frank Pangello finished up as the Mayor of Queanbeyan Pallarang, there was only around $500,000 debt held by the council overall. By the time Kenrick Winchester took over from Tim Overall, the debt had reached $142 million non-current debt and total debt of over $150 million. Thus the reason we've unfortunately as ratepayers seen increases in our rates. I think it's not smart for people in the electorate to believe people who will tell you that they can stop the rate increases which have been agreed by IPART, both in Queanbeyan Pallarang Regional Council and Snowy Monaro Regional Council. It's an unfortunate fact of life that regional councils have tough financial situations, and they need to address those in a responsible way so that they can keep delivering services to the people in the communities. So I'd suggest to people watching this, and of course that you would expect that I'd be endorsing the Labor teams. The Labor teams led by Bryce Wilson, Esma Livermore and John Preston in Queanbeyan and Pallarang, and by Tanya Higgins, Linda Summers and Bill Walker in the Snowy Monaro. I'd suggest that those people mightn't be out there telling you that they can make everything rosy. They mightn't be out there telling you that they can miraculously reduce your rates and increase your services, but they will be giving you realistic commitments about what they can deliver. And in Queanbeyan Pallarang, I'd be delighted if we saw another council led by Kenrick Winchester and his team working with Labor, because Kenrick and myself and Christy McBain have a wonderful working relationship to deliver for our communities. It's something that's very important and, believe it or not, didn't happen before. And the previous state member didn't talk to the federal member and certainly didn't talk to Kenrick Winchester, the mayor. That's not a good thing to go back to, and I'd suggest people think about that as they cast their votes in the election.
Thank the member, and